My childhood was marked by years of sexual abuse, both from family members and from foster care. When I was 16 years old, my parents ended up getting divorced and things took a turn for the worst. When I met the man that I was involved with, I was 17 years old and he was 34. He had promised me love, which turned out to be nothing but abuse and neglect. At the age of 19, I was trafficked by him onto the streets of Independence Avenue. In 2003, I was walking down the street with my boyfriend's mother, and we were struck by a car from behind. I was not only thrown 34 feet, but I was thrown into a world of utter darkness. Little did I know that I had died at that point. A few minutes later, they were actually able to resuscitate me, and I had come back to life. The car wreck was supposed to be a wake-up call for me. Unfortunately, it didn't click. The man that I was with continued to abuse me and traffic me on the streets. I used drugs and alcohol in order to numb the pain that I was feeling from that. In July of 2008, I was in another car wreck. This time I was driving. The brakes went out. I ended up swerving and dodging 4 cars and 2 Metro buses before the car collided into the side of the bridge. Witnesses say that when it collided, I actually flipped over the side of the bridge and was hanging over the side as I was ejected through the windshield. But at that very moment, the hand of God reached out and saved me. At the crash, they had found the Bible that was on the dash of the car. The Bible was completely covered in oil and car fluids and blood. They had opened up to a page that had been spotless, had remained spotless throughout the entire wreck. There was one spot on it, and it was next to the verse in Revelation 12:11, and they will overcome him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. In 2010, while sitting in a hotel room on a bed in Blue Springs, God came to me personally. I had just got high, but I wasn't feeling high, and I heard my name called, Lonnie. And at first, I knew it was God, but I didn't want to admit that it was God. I heard my name 2 more times, and at that point, I said, "What do you want?" And he told me to get up and leave and go to City Union Mission.
When I first met Lonnie, she easily showed outward enthusiasm, but it was very clearly that she was so inwardly broken. And we began to discover, and I began to discover what some of those down moments, those hurt moments were about.
When I arrived at City Union Mission, I remember being on the bottom bunk on the first floor in the single ladies' room. I sat there for days rocking myself, crying. I was crying so hard I couldn't even see. I said, "Jesus, if you are real, come and hold me." At that moment, his presence fell upon me and secured me. It was a peace that passed all understanding, a peace that truly freaked me out because I didn't understand what peace was at that time.
It was really an amazing miracle of God to see God work to transform Lonnie from an individual, a person who desired God, but those broken places needed God's special touch.
Well, for years I had been praying for a family. And I was waiting and waiting and waiting for God to answer that prayer. And in 2013, he did answer that prayer. He gave me my wonderful husband, David, and our beautiful daughter, Lily. And that was more than a blessing, more than an answer that I could ever imagine. Jesus means everything to me. Without him, I am absolutely nothing. And with him, I can do unimaginable things.